I've talked about this in a million videos. You guys keep taking these crazy risks that everybody thinks are insane at first, and then they realize actually this is fucking cool, and they come around. And so that's kind of his vision of just being willing to put your balls out on the table.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like an exhausted passenger in that process because I'm like,
right.
yeah, I'm like a nervous, anxious person. So
Yeah.
like every time I'm like, oh, can't, I'm just like happy with, we've got a good song here. And he's like, no, we need to do something. He'll like come in with some crazy idea.
Right.
Like, oh, here we go again. Like, sometimes I just want to, I just want to do something normal.
Right.
But like really I'd say he's the person who is always pushing for something. And if a song's just like a song, it's very rare that it's enough for him. He just wants to keep pushing to find something different, or especially lyrically, he'll dig around. I'm fine with like generic. I'm not a lyrics guy particularly.
Yeah.
I'm just like, if a lyric sounds nice to me, I'm like, I love that line. Whereas he's always looking for real, it has to mean something to him, and it's got to be clever, and he likes the wordplay, and he'll spend hours working on a line. So he's just really, really dedicated to everything being better than what we've done before in some way. So obviously with our band, everything's like, we change a lot. So not everything is going to appeal to everyone, but
sure,
we're always trying to do what we do as well as we can. So if we're going to do a project where we're going to do a certain type of genre or try and do a certain style of music, he wants it to be the best song ever made in that genre. That's the level. And it's just like, I'm just like, okay, I'll try. I'll try to do my best to assist in that.
You mentioned that at the beginning you kind of didn't want to be in the band because you wanted to do your own thing. Obviously you changed your mind at some point. How do you feel about being that kind of passenger? Because a lot of people, wouldn't be cool with that.
I mean, I feel privileged, to be fair, to be in a band with someone like that, because it's, we've worked with other people and stuff, and it's just very rare that you find someone who has that like otherworldly creativity. It's just like weird ideas that you don't really know where they come from.
Yeah.
So it's good and bad. It can be exhausting because it's just on such a different level to how I think. And sometimes music, I'm very much in the computer world. So I'm looking at my screen and I'm kind of crafting, I guess. And then sometimes Ollie will go, okay, I've taken the vocal from the song that we've been working on it for a couple of weeks. I put it over some other, it's an entirely different thing. It's like, maybe we should take it in this direction. I'm just like, oh, it's like, okay, but the boundaries of what, for me, if I've put in a lot of time, I'm like, we're in this lane now where sometimes he'll flip it entirely or just have another idea. So it can be exhausting, but at the same time, it's what makes us good, in my opinion. I think I'm really good at what I do, but there's other people who can do what I do, in my opinion. But I don't think I've ever met anyone who can do what he does or as good as he does. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've worked with some people like that, and it is, as much as I sort of don't want to admit it in those situations, I'm like, you know what? I need this person because they see things that I don't, and if I was left to my own devices, I would just sort of stay in this lane. And I think I'm a very good executor, but I don't think I'm the most creative person in the world. And so I need people to like really challenge me to get outside my comfort zone, or else I won't leave it.
Yeah, I think that's the same for me. And in terms of music, I feel like I understand. I feel music when I'm making it, so that comes naturally to me, like how a melody should go, or how a song should go. I can make music. That's my comfortable zone. But in terms of like trying to elevate it to something where it's like I think the way he thinks is just he's very listener.
Mm-hmm.
He can really visualize how the listener's going to feel or what moment, with the kind of moments. So like, whereas I'm just kind of in it, he'll be thinking more about like, okay, what's going to really blow someone's mind when they listen to it. And it's almost like he's able to put himself in someone's shoes.
Like, we're not there yet. We got to keep going.
Yeah. And so, and I think that's the same for him across the board, not just in music. It's, even with, he's kind of one of them people that I think would be useful to have. This is turning into a bit of an Ollie interview, but it's hard not to, you
No,
asked
we're here to talk to Jordan.
but I mean, I've worked with him a lot, so obviously that is my life basically. But yeah, I think he's the kind of person who would be good to have on a team in any creative sense, because he just thinks of ideas and knows how to make things hit. So it's the same for our live shows. A lot of the time he's thinking about what's going to be really, really different live, or what's going to make it super immersive, or it's not just playing the songs. It's like trying to elevate it so it's like some kind of experience or